Polarity. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet. All truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. The Kabbalion. The great fourth Hermetic principle, the principle of polarity, embodies the truth that all manifested things have two sides, two aspects, two poles, a pair of opposites, with manifold degrees between the two extremes. The old paradoxes which have ever perplexed the mind of men are explained by an understanding of this principle. Man has always recognized something akin to this principle and has endeavored to express it by such sayings, maxims, and aphorisms as the following. Everything is and isn't at the same time. All truths are but half-truths. Every truth is half false. There are two sides to everything, etc., etc. The Hermetic teachings are to the effect that the difference between things seemingly diametrically opposed to each other is merely a matter of degree. It teaches that the pairs of opposites may be reconciled, and that thesis and antithesis are identical in nature, but different in degree. The teachers claim that illustrations of this principle may be had on every hand, and from an examination into the real nature of anything.
Even Kanye was heaven sent. Even the devil was heaven sent. Donald too. Epstein too. Adolf too. Even you. We all heaven sent.
Don't point at me, not my heaven. You proud of yourself?
They begin by showing that spirit and matter are but the two poles of the same thing, the intermediate planes being merely degrees of vibration. They show that the all and the many are the same, the difference being merely a matter of degree of mental manifestation. Thus, the law and laws are the two opposite poles of one thing. Likewise, principle and principles, infinite mind and finite minds. Then passing on to the physical plane, they illustrate the principle by showing that heat and cold are identical in nature, the differences being merely a matter of degrees. The thermometer shows many degrees of temperature, the lowest pole being called cold, and the highest heat. Between these two poles are many degrees of heat or cold. Call them either, and you are equally correct. The higher of 2 degrees is always warmer, while the lower is always colder. There is no absolute standard. All is a matter of degree. There is no place on the thermometer where heat ceases and cold begins.
Very simple concept to understand. And then when you really get it, then you understand that you're God. Then you understand that you're having this experience in this dual capacity in nature, because that is what is required here. That's what works here, right? Because if you were where the Creator is, there is no dual. It's only one. But it's expressed in all of these different forms in that format,
with countless degrees between them. Good and bad are not absolute. We call one end of the scale good and the other bad, or one end good and the other evil, according to the use of the terms. A thing is less good than the thing higher in the scale, but that less good thing, in turn, is more good than the thing next below it, and so on, the more or less being regulated by the position on the scale. And so it is on the mental plane. Love and hate are generally regarded as being things diametrically opposed to each other, entirely different, unreconcilable. But we apply the principle of polarity. We find that there is no such thing as absolute love or absolute hate, as distinguished from each other. The two are merely terms applied to the two poles of the same thing. Beginning at any point of the scale, we find more love or less hate as we ascend the scale, and more hate or less love as we descend. This being true, no matter from what point, high or low, we may start. There are degrees of love and hate, and there is a middle point where like and dislike become so faint that it is difficult to distinguish between them. Courage and fear come under the same rule. The pairs of opposites exist everywhere. Where you find one thing, you find its opposite, the two poles.
The moral to the story is,
you can tell what your receptivity, what your receptive mode is about by the way you feel. Your mood is your receptive mode indicator. So if you're discouraged, if you're bummed out, if you're depressed, if you are feeling like a victim, if you're feeling like other people are doing things to you and preventing you from getting what you want or having what you want or being who you want to be, then you've got a vibration going on that is the reason that your path isn't lighting up for you in a clearer way. And clarity really is what you're shooting for. You know what it feels like when you can't make your mind up about something? Should I or shouldn't I? That split energy is the most uncomfortable experience of all experiences. Split energy, wanting it and doubting it. That split energy, wanting it but not believing that I can have it. Wanting it and resenting other people who have it. Until you accept that you are completely responsible for your receptivity. You're not responsible for what other people do, and other people do a lot of really dumb things. There are other people doing things out there that if you all took a vote, most of you would vote, they shouldn't ought to kind of sort of be doing that. They hadn't ought to be doing that. In other words, we get it that there are people doing things that you don't like, and we're not saying that you should like them. But we are saying you must stop making those conditions over which you have no control be such a big part of your attention, because your attention to what you do not want holds you in a resistant state and keeps you, and this is the operative word, out of the receptive mode. And if you're out of the receptive mode, then it doesn't matter how many clues we're giving. Hey, go over there. Go this way. Go over there. You'll like what you find. Tell me what it is or I won't go. That's how you act. Okay, I'll play your silly. I'll pay the price of happiness if I have to.